Works for me because because this is next week technically.
Yeah,
so.
when is everyone available until?
Right.
Like, you're done on 21st.
Yeah, I can be available to the 20th.
Okay, until the 20th. So is everyone available until the 20th?
Mm-hmm.
Till the 20th.
Yes. Tuesday.
I would not be available the 20th.
Okay.
The 19th,
The
or
19th.
20th. I'm not available.
But all we need is 4.
Right, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, anybody that can forward to the 20th?
You can?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can.
So we have 5, 6, and 10.
All right, so we're gonna reschedule the 21st COW meeting to the 20th at 6:30, and that will take place here at the high school auditorium.
Administration building?
At the high school auditorium.
But we didn't, it has to be changed by resolution.
Yeah.
Yes, it was going to be held here because we decided to hold the rest of the meetings until today. So next up, we have the regular board meeting and the organizational meeting. I would like to request that we actually hold the meeting the week of January. This week of January 2nd, preferably the 4th or the 5th of that week. I understand that there would not be a requirement for any staff member to join, but we are allowed to still hold the meeting that day. The reason is because I will be out of the country for personal reasons for 2 weeks after that week. And I've spoken with board members that are coming on to, and I got responsible in one of them, and he would not mind if we moved up the meeting, so I would like to request that we can move it up if that would be an option for you guys. Either the 4th or the 5th. That date work for me? Same? I'll be able to move it to the 4th. Okay, so the regular meeting will be held January 4th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. And we will be making a decision on where we're going to hold those meetings today, right? For this, yeah, okay. So it will be at the community center. Okay. Starting January, yeah. So because we only agreed to make,
We agreed on this one.
just for this month.
Yes, so go back to the
Go back to
administration.
administration, yeah.
That's what you said. The community center.
Oh, I'm sorry, administration building. All right, so for the organizational meeting, Joanne, would we be able to do that the same day as 6 or? So the organization meeting will also take place on the 4th at 6 p.m. at the administration building. Thank you. All right.
Mr. President, that's fine. We had to reschedule our student hearing. Is the board available to perhaps the same day?
We didn't have. We can do it on the day of the cow on the 20th if that works for anybody. Because we do have time.
Please.
So the board meeting, the cow meeting starts at 6:30, so I would say a 5:30 would be appropriate. Would that work for you guys? All right, so December 21st, 20th.
Wait, yeah.
December 20th, we will also hold a student disciplinary meeting at 5:30 at the administration building. Did we say 19th or 20th? The 20th. Yeah. The 20th.
And then we come back here.
No, and then we come back here, yes. So the what?
For the cow meeting.
Yeah, the cow meeting will take place at the high school auditorium. the student disciplinary meeting will take place at the administration building. Okay? All right, board member discussion?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to start. Go ahead. So I just wanted to say that today at Dixon East, we had members of the high school at Walled Lake Northern High School come, and they came with a big truck, a UPS truck that was packed to the brim with gifts for the students. So what they did was they told the students to make a list of things that they would like and things that they need. And from what I was told by Jake, who was the student in charge of running it, was that students in the school at Walled Lake Northern adopted each individual student's list, and their families went out and bought everything that was written on that list for each student. So today it was just an amazing thing to see. They brought in there all the toys and they organized it into the auditorium, to the gym at Dixon East, and they waited till the kids went to lunch, and then they ran the toys up. It was like a secret, thing happening, so the students didn't know until they got there, and then we stayed till the students opened their gifts, and just the pure joy and happiness is amazing to see, and I think we owe it to ourselves to present Walled Lake Northern with plaques as a thank you. For each individual student, they should also get a plaque just as a thank you, because of the amount of work that they put into it today was an entire day work.
5,000 gifts.
They had over 5,000 gifts. Each student had multiple gifts. So I will ask Jake to provide a list with all those who are involved, and I will send it to Ms. McBride, and we'll be inviting them to our February regular board meeting, because January they have finals. So we'll invite them then, so hopefully we can get those plaques ordered and a thank you letter to them and present it to them during that board meeting, okay? Mr. Abay was also there. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, we were over the news, 6 o'clock, I think they had it, the whole story. What was emotion? Emotion when you see the kids just walking back from the recess to a present, sitting in their desk. It was something nice. Just making tears just go out. It was something special, thankfully.
And they also provided breakfast for all the teachers, bagels, the whole spread.
Now, they also give teachers.
Students, right? Yeah. So I'm hoping maybe we can present the flags to them at their board meeting. So they can help you present.
I think they wanted to come and tell us about it. I'll
We'll
ask Jake what they prefer.
Okay.
All right.
I have something to say.
Yeah.
That was great, but I want to thank our teacher, Ms. Rogowski, for helping one of her students and his family, doing the morning show.
Yes.
That was great. That was a wonderful thing. I feel like that was a great thing, and I appreciate her because she's helping out her students, and she's been a teacher here for a long time. I didn't know Dixon West, so when she said she's been for 30 years, and then I found out that she was at Dixon West, that explains why I didn't know who she was. But I want to thank her. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right. So next up we have board policy reviews, first reading. Mr. Naji.
Thank you. So the first policy, if you look at your packets, we have the old HPS policy regarding, well, we didn't have it at all. It was just completely missing. It wasn't in there for some reason. The new language, the one that says old policy manual 000 bylaws, title compensation, or the title is compensation. When we adopt this, there's two versions we can adopt. This is the first one that I just mentioned, that's coded PO0144.1 is the general format. And the second, for the policy manual, is more detailed. The policy, it's same number, but it's just more detailed. And I don't know if you have access to the hard copies, but when you review them, you'll just have to make a decision on which would be ideal for our district. So I have any other notes in there, but that's pretty much summing that up. But I recommend that we go with the simpler language. So please take a look at that, and then we can. You want to take a look at it now, or review it, and then decide on.
I think that we should review it individually and then make those recommendations and decisions during the council meeting.
All right, great. So, any questions to that one before I proceed?
No.
Next one is board policy. Actually, this is new as well. Policy 6108. And it's regarding electric fund transfers and automatic clearinghouse arrangements. This is pretty much the only option in the Neola version that was provided to us. I recommend we adopt the language on the second page, which states the superintendent is authorized to develop administrative guidelines concerning the use of electronic fund transfers and ACH transactions. This is the only option or choice for this policy, so that's for them. What am I saying? All right, another current policy that we have. This is for vendor relations, PO 6460, and our current language, current policy on the newer version of the recommended. It's not recommended by Neola. We don't have to adopt the second part of it, but there were changes for the, as you can see, with pronouns and such. Also, in regards to the original, the top version, I'm sorry. So the top part of this newer document for the PO6460, the top version is original, but the only change with that was the pronouns. And then the preferred vendors for non-district purchases on the bottom, that's a newer. And my personal recommendation is not to include it because it makes it much more difficult to limit vendors and delay things as well. So please review that, take a look. Any questions with that one? Proceeding. All right. Next, our Fair Labor Standards Act, P0 or PO 6700. And our current policy states the work week is established as Sunday 12 a.m. to Saturday 11:59 p.m. The new version, they want to select at the same time. It would likely be the same times, it wouldn't change. However, there were changes in this one with updates in, again, in pronouns and the use of their instead of his/her. Also, number 3 is here. Nursing for trying to think of the term right now. It's drawing a blank. But basically, in order for moms to have access to facilities in the building to breastfeed, and that's pretty much a lot. So take a look at that. And it states it even in the final piece. It says an employer that employs less than 50 employees shall not be subject to the requirements of this subsection. But obviously we have more than 50 employees, so we would have to provide by that. The next policy, please stop me if there's any questions. P0 or 0744.0.03. This is new for HBS. The recommendation from Neola was to select option 2. So please check that out. And obviously, this is a newer thing because it's small, unmanned aircraft systems, and we know those are drones and so on and so forth. So we have to catch up with the times, and it's recommended by Neola. Also, now on to flags and displays. This is newer. We can adopt it or not. It was created due to the matters transpired in other districts, so Neola shared that if we would like to adopt this, and if it's not an issue with the district, then it shouldn't be adopted. In my opinion, everybody's, I think discussion should be had about it, but please review it. So that's that piece for that policy number. There's quite a few. School visitors, our current policy versus the newer policy. The language change regarding sex offenders. So you can see on the newer version, they X'd out where it says parents/guardians are registered sex offenders, and which so on and so forth, and replaced by individuals who are registered sex offenders, continuing, and you can see that in the document. Number 2 was about animals on the premises. Please take a look at that. Basically, obviously, if kids are traveling to the zoo or their science experiments, so on and so forth, we need to take things like that into consideration. Some classes that require it. I know we don't have therapy dogs or anything like that, or we might have bunnies in some classes, or so that is something to look at as well. Number 3 is the same as the old language, or rather, I'm sorry, I numbered them, so I'll just refer to it. At the very bottom where it says individual board members who are interested in visiting schools or classrooms on an unofficial basis shall make a appropriate arrangements with the principal in keeping with board bylaws. Such board member visits shall not be considered to be official unless designated as such. And then I recommend that by the board be checked or selected. And also within the paragraph where it says if during a visit to a school program, a board member observes a situation or a condition which causes concern, so on and so forth. The situation first, I think we should select with the principal, that the concern should be shared with the principal. And finally, the last sentence or selection, if the board members believe the situation or condition is serious, or condition is serious enough for the board member we wish to also inform the superintendent. So that's the recommendation for that piece. I think we have, what was the last one? Did we cover all of them? So please review them, and they're pretty straightforward, most of them. But if there's any questions, myself or Mr. Pryor can answer.
Okay, do we have any correspondence? No correspondence, all right. Any student presentations? Any student presentations?
No, not student presentations. All the presentations.
Next up, we have audience participation. Do we have any audience still using the phone? All right, first consent agenda.
Yeah, that's the first.
All right, resolution number 2, Approval of consent agenda. Do I have a motion? Motion. Motion by Mr. Major. Second by Mr. O'Day. Resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the following items under the consent agenda. Do we have any discussion?
I just want to thank Ms. Anaja and Ms. Nose, but I do also want to say I'm highly upset that the person that I told you guys not to hire already has quit. Because I always say, we wasted so much time, we wasted money, and I told you guys to go with Coach Foster.
Was there any exit interviews come down for this? For anybody?
Yeah, it would be sent. Miss Crystal, I'm drawing a blank with her last name. Thank you, Miss Norman, sent out the survey link, so I have to check out the results of that.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, motion passes.
One of the new teachers is here.
All right, so this,
One of the new teachers is here.
oh, is there anybody here that is a new hire? Would you get up and present yourself?
Top Beta kindergarten teacher. I'd like to introduce Ms. Laura Walston.
And do we have any other onto the consent agenda?
Yeah, Ms. Darlene Moore, she's our new business.
All right, so
And one more. Maybe?
I'm not new, but,
Oh.
you know, I was a student here and my students taught here, so,
Wow.
yeah. Olivia, that's how she's
right now, welcome again.
Were we just going off the consent agenda?
Yes,
or-
we are supposed to be going on to the consent agenda. Yep. All right.
We do have individuals that were not named that are here, are present.
Right, I understand, but this is regarding the consent agenda. All right, moving forward, audience participation. This portion of the agenda is for citizens to address agenda items only to the board. The board will listen, take comments and questions under advisement and not respond at this time. Proceeding officer will refer questions to the superintendent for research and response. Ms. Coral, is this pertaining to the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next up we have reports to the board. First up, we have the school and community facilitators report from Liz Alper and Amna Paskovic.
Hi, good evening. We're just waiting for, oh, there it is. Let us know if there's any issue hearing, trying to share the microphone here. Okay, so about us, I'm Liz Alpert. I've been with HPS since
Get the
February,
microphone closer.
since February 2021, so I'm almost on my 2-year mark here. I'm a former limited licensed professional counselor in the state of Michigan, and I'm now working on my master in social work. I'm going to be done with that program in April 2024.
And I am Amra Paskovic. I have been with HPS since 2016. I have a bachelor's in psychology and sociology, master's in sociology, and I'm currently in the program to get my administration certification approved by MD, and hopefully by next year I will have that.
And we just wanted to present to the board tonight. We think it's a nice idea to give you kind of an update about what we do, kind of yearly, because we have a lot going on in our department.
One of our major goals is to promote empowerment by bridging the gap between the students, their families, Hamtramck Public Schools, and our community.
So along with being the school and community facilitators, we also have an additional role. I'm the McKinney Mental Coordinator for the district, or the homeless liaison. So that just means I kind of carry a caseload of our homeless students in the district. And I think sometimes when people think of homeless, they think on the streets or in the car. And while that can be the case, it's really not under the McKinney-Vento legislature written that way. You can be living with your grandma or a cousin and be considered homeless. If you can't afford your own place and you're living with a family member, then that kind of considers you as a doubled up. So we have about 50 McKinney-Vento students this year, which is a really big jump from last year. Last year I felt that we were really underreporting, and I was and have been working really hard to try to get this role out to our families so they can receive the support and help that they need and deserve. So kind of the biggest things that we do is help with transportation. We can get bus cards for 50 cents from DDOT, and our kids will get those and they can ride the bus. We do clothing, backpacks, school supplies, food. If they want to go to prom and need a ticket and they're under the McKinney-Vento, then we can pay for their ticket out of our fund. So just really anything that a student needs to be successful in school, then we try to make that happen. This is the National Homelessness Education kind of poster that's been posted around so that the students know what they could qualify for. So it's just an example if they're living in a shelter, living in a hotel or on a campground, car park, any of those kinds of things. It's just for them to see out and about, and they can kind of know what to reach out to. And I put my information on the bottom there so they know to email me or they can text. That's my work phone. This year I've incorporated some online Google Forms for ease of access. I put a McKinney-Vento referral form on our website so a parent or a student can go on and fill all their information out, and that'll kick it right to me, and then I can follow up with them and then use all that information to easily put it into the data collector that goes through the state, and then someone from the state or Wayne County will contact them for additional supports too. And then over the summer, I started a little Cosmos closet in the basement of the high school. And so then that's also a form online where parents or students can go and request what kind of clothes they need, sizes, shoes, if they need anything else. If there's anybody in the house, like a toddler, maybe that's not in school but needs some clothes, then they can use that form to fill all that information out.
Okay, and one of our other roles is I am the foster care liaison. Basically, foster care is a system in which a minor has been placed into a board, group home, a private home, or a state-certified caregiver referred to as foster parent, or with a family member approved by the state. Most of our foster care kids receive their support and services through NDHHS by referral of their caseworker. If additional services are needed, we support and provide for the student just like we do for our McKinney-Vento students. Currently, right now, we did have 8 students, but because of closure of one of the buildings, there's only 4 right now in the district. One of our major roles that we do as a school and community facilitators is doing home visits. There are multiple reasons why we do the home visits. For instance, excessive absences for our in-person students, for our BLI students, for testing, if they need to come and test due to accountability purposes, to update contact information if we can't reach a family, if there's an emergency, food deliveries, technology deliveries, also any kind of crisis such as mental health or behavior. We do have a process of how we do the home visits. We have a Google form that is set up and created, and each school has their own individual one. They would add the students on the form that they need a home visit for. They give us a reason what is the visit being conducted for, and we will go and do it. Usually we do it once a week, but if there is emergencies, we do it throughout the week, depending on what's needed. We drive the HPS van and we have our IDs visible. If the door is answered, we explain who we are, what we do, how we can support, and we try to find out the circumstances for the student or the family. If the door is not answered, we leave a letter, and it tells them to call us within 2 days. Sometimes we do second and third visits, but we usually try to resolve the issue within that one visit when we go there. And all our notes are put into MyStar, and all the people are notified of the information. So far from August to now, we have done 330 home visits. And that's including also our food deliveries that we do to our families that have transportation issues.
Okay, now we want to share some of our completed projects that we've done with you, dating back to the summer, and we're going to kind of try and go a little quicker. Don't want to take up too much time. So in June, we had some winners from Hamtramck High School, 3 winners of the Huss Scholarship Award. So they were given a scholarship that they could use towards their future endeavors. In July is kind of when I started collecting clothes and organizing the Cosmos Closet down here in the basement. It's district-wide, the Google form. So far, I've had about like 15 requests, but people also know that it's there. So they're like, hey Liz, can you run down and get me, XYZ? So not all requests are coming through the form. And then Amr was on the Code of Conduct Committee and helped out in the enrollment office. In August, we were planning for our big family fun fair. We started helping Sarah Pessler with Hamtramck Seas. We got a bunch of fully stuffed backpacks from United Way. They were super heavy. It was quite the workout that day. And we continued with the enrollment office support. So here's some pictures from our family fun fair. It was a really good turnout this year again. We did it outside and it was super, super hot, but I think it was still a good turnout. We had people moving their tables to be in the shade. We had tents, we had water. I was really proud of that event, and I think everybody had a lot of fun. We got a lot of good resources. A good way to kick off the school year. And this year we also did like a little passport system. So before a child could get like their freebie, they had to visit certain tables because we wanted to make sure that resources and needs were being met. Just some more pictures. And then in September, obviously we started back with school. We started up all of our meetings with Hamtramck Historical Museum, Refugee Resettlement, quarterly meeting, and that's across the state of Michigan. So with like Bethany Christian Services, Samaritas, and we just kind of get a frame of reference on how many refugees are coming in from where, and that way we can be prepared if any end up in Hamtramck. Meeting with our local organizations, we had an ALICE training, Special Populations Conference in East Lansing, the quarterly meetings for foster care liaisons and homeless liaisons, and then our home visits for students who didn't show up the first or second week of school, just to kind of check in and see what was going on there. And then in October, we did some more Hamtramck Seas visits. I'm going with Sarah Pessler again tomorrow, so that's kind of just like an ongoing partnership we have with her. We did a clothing drive with ICNA. I did a homecoming dress giveaway here at the high school for girls who wanted to go to the homecoming dance but maybe didn't have a dress. Assisted with parent-teacher conferences, pep rally, Coats for Kids with the Hamtramck Fire Department. They donated just a bunch of brand new coats for our kids, and that was really nice. That's the second year they've done that. Title I meetings at our schools, food donations for 40 families, and then just various parent meetings at some schools.
Okay, so we continue to help and support the Hamtramck Seas. We did Thanksgiving turkey meals giveaways with Detroit Friendship House and ICNA. Supported Hamtramck Historical Museum Open House. Food donation again for 40 families from our new partner, Somta Read Center. HDFCC and parent engagement meetings at Dickinson East. Organizing donation closet at Dickinson East. Assisting families for food and clothing. Also, we want to, J&E donated over 40 brand new jackets for our pre-K students and food donations for our new pantry at Dickinson East. We also created a great partnership with NEWCC to adopt 2 families in need of this Christmas, where the families they even got furniture for themselves, and they supported us to get a $5,000 grant for our district that we just got this week. So we're super excited to continue these relationships. December, Santa's Toy Closet, Detroit Friendship House, and they just told us today they will donate us more toys for our first toy drive that we will be doing this year. We also did a fundraiser with Balkan House for our donation closet. They donated $1,000 for us. And this is the second year that FBI Community Outreach presentation from Willie Council to high school students, which will be on 12/22. And of course, working with community members to help and support the different families in need. This is just some of our upcoming projects. We finally received a space for our district-wide donation closet. We're accepting donations. It used to be Dickinson's old room, but we are in the process of naming the closet. We would like any suggestions, recommendations. We are, whatever you guys feel, if you want to shoot us an email or anything, just to help us out, just kind of get a name.
So far, I've just been calling it the HPS Family Closet. I feel like something could be a little catchier, so if anybody has any ideas, let us know.
And we will have, these are just some of the items that have been donated to us, and they will be available. Once we finalize everything, we're just getting everything organized, so it will be really nice. And this is just some of the pictures of the food that we have been donated, and the families are grateful and feel appreciated that we are helping them in the times of need.
Okay, this is a new initiative that we are working with the Hamtramck Police Department to bring to our district. It's called Handle with Care, and I can send more information than what I can tell you right now. But basically, it's an initiative that started in Virginia, and then a woman in Jackson, Michigan, at the MDHHS saw it and brought it there. And then I'm from Jackson, and so I knew about it, and I was like, well, I want to bring that here. So what it is it's a partnership with law enforcement and schools. Anytime a student or a child is seen as seen, or the police involved, so it could be a car accident, it could be like grandpa maybe died at home and the police had to come and get him, or a parent was arrested, something like that. The police officers will take the child's name in school, and then before the start of the next school day, send a Handle with Care notice to the school and just say, please handle Johnny with care today. And that's all the information that's given. There's no information about what happened or anything like that. It's just to give the teachers, the admin, the counselors a heads up that if Johnny's acting out a little bit today, it's because something happened and we need to maybe provide him with a quiet space instead of sending him to the principal's office. So it's just a different way to be trauma informed and to help any of our kiddos or students that are going through something at home. So we've been working with Chief Moyse to bring that over, probably not until after the holidays because it's kind of like a slow rollout, but I just wanted to talk about that tonight because it's something I'm really excited about. And then last but not least, we have invited our community partners here tonight because we are just so grateful of everything that they do for us, and our families are so appreciative of everything. We cannot do what we do without all of them. So we want to recognize them tonight. We're going to call them up and offer them a certificate of appreciation. And then at the end, we're all just going to kind of stand right here and take a picture. So it's just going to be really crowded and fun, but we just wanted to kind of get that going. So first, we'll do Hamtramck United Social Services, HUS. And the president of that is not here tonight, so the vice president, Laura Goodward, is going to come up for that.
Sorry.
Thank you. J&E Community Relief. Global Charity Teams. The Toledo Center Novi Association. the Hamtramck Historical Museum, and EW, oh, they're not here, sorry. Skip it now. ICNA Muslim Family Services, Detroit Friendship House, the Hamtramck Fire Department, the Hamtramck Police Department, the PS Institute and Hamtramck Drug Free Community Coalition, and the Hamtramck Federation of Teachers. And I know that was really long, everybody. Thanks for sticking with it. Amra and I just really love our jobs and we love what we do. I feel like that's really special to say that. Not everybody can say that. I'm gonna get emotional, sorry. I just feel really grateful to be working in this community and to be working with all of you. So thank you. Yeah, so if everybody, all of the partners could just kind of come up and we'll just do a real quick picture.
Yeah, like I think we're gonna go over here.
I know, everybody keeps saying that. Yeah, it wasn't. I thought, no, baloney. I moved it here, so I'm coming for the picture.
Sure you want me to do it?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I got Anthony. I did a quick scan of
Gets the job done. Sometimes we know the workers what they do, with the magnitude of the impact they do.
There's like
She's the key.
Next up is Hamtramck High School advocates and Dr. Ricardo Martin, who is our new principal this year. Welcome to Hamtramck Public Schools, if we have introduced you to the crowd yet before.
Thank you so much, and here, let's clap it up for our high school, everybody. Clap it up. Awesome. I am so excited that we are hosting, and I asked some of our teachers to come up here, and this is our first time hosting, and so over the next couple of board meetings, if you have any needs or anything, make sure you let us know well in advance. That way we can make sure we're ready for you when you get here. So Thank you so much for having us. We're just going to share just a few slides and different things. And I think I see the slide over here. We may want to project it up on the big screen so that everyone can see it. That might be me. Let's see it. Let's see. Okay, where is our technology team?
They're working on it.
Okay, wait a minute, I gotta back out. Let's see. Okay, fantastic. So, I am joined by one of our students, and I'm gonna have him introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Faisal Ahmed. I'm a senior at Hamtramck High School.
Awesome, and so he's going to be presenting slides as we go through these slides, and so we're really excited. So let me just start off. I want to talk a little bit about just a few points of pride. You know, this year we set a goal of teamwork being our theme, and so really as it relates to teamwork, it's the power of we. So here you see one of our teachers, Miss Ball, and as it happens, she is hitting a balloon up in the air, and that balloon happens to say teamwork. So you might not be able to see it, but we had about, I don't know, 60, 70 balloons going, and the goal was not to let any balloons hit the floor. So that was initially our professional development as we kicked off the school year. So everything is about we. I want to just touch on 3 important points of pride. I want to highlight these 3: teaching and learning, student life, and then events. So first, teaching and learning. So 2 areas I want to talk about. I want to talk about foreign language. The first, this is Mr. Razik's class, and this is a lesson that he's doing on Arabic to English. And so you can see the students very much engaged in a lesson where it's a matching lesson. And so students are matching the veggies that they like and veggies that they don't like. It's an easy way to understand Arabic to English. Now, I must say broccoli came in last place with this one. So, but as you can see, the students engaged in a game and so forth. And so, very proud of this lesson, just doing an awesome job on something that's highly relatable to students. Here we have Mr. Sarkit, Spanish to English. And so in this lesson, he's teaching learning to write their schedules. What I like the most about this is that it's something that students use every single day. They need to be able to interpret their schedules from English into Spanish. And so here he is teaching that lesson. So excited about that for all periods 1 through 6. And then we have, and now this one, professional development, instead of me doing the talking, I happen to have Miss Madden, who did this presentation along with our fellow English teachers. They are fresh out of this presentation. This is our book read for the year. It's called The Energy Bus. And instead of me talking about Miss Madden, as you know, I'm one to put staff on the spot. So come on up here, Miss Madden. We'll warm you up for your next presentation that you'll be doing after this. So Miss Madden, Mr. Bakovich, come on up here. Come on up here now, Ms. Bilot. Give me your skinny version of this. I'm gonna move over and have you. Yes.
So, as a staff, we're reading a book that Dr. Martin has recommended called The Energy Bus. And it was tasked to the English department to read the first 6 chapters and to present it in some sort of exciting, interactive way to our colleagues to get them introduced to the book.
So we put together a slideshow of the first 7 chapters, and they had interactive slides and GIFs on them to just introduce the book and give the staff a general overview of what it was so that they could continue on the work after us.
And now we're waiting for the rest of the staff who has to go after us to ask us for our slide share to they can continue doing what we started.
But that's great.
Excellent. Can we clap it up for our teachers? So excited. And by the way, that was very impromptu. They did not know I was going to do that. So very good. So thank you so much. Once again, representing the power of we. Appreciate that. So again, academics, dual enrollment, moving right along, after school tutoring, virtual learning, college presentations. Again, one of our English teachers, Ms. Sikorsky, and then of course Ms. Human Science Lab, Ms. Sikorsky. I like to showcase one teacher each week in my weekly newsletter, and this particular week Ms. Sikorsky, was showcased because she brought her classroom into the hallway, and she often, this is one of her practices, and students have to make sure they get their journals before they come into class and so forth. I want Ms. Belot to come up again because we had several inductees into the National Honor Society, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Good evening, everyone. It's a great honor that I am the mentor teacher for the National Honor Society at the high school. It's something that when I came here, the teacher that ran it was very sick and they needed somebody, and I was brand new, so I was like, I wanted to show if I could do something. And it's turned into like an invaluable piece to my life. I get to work with these wonderful kids that go out of their way to do good, be good, and show good. And they just blow my mind every year. I think, oh, they can't top last year, and they do. Just what they give of themselves and to others is just a fantastic group, and I can't wait to see our new inductees this year and what we are able to accomplish.
Thank you so much, Ms. Belot. Ms. Belot, how many students were inducted on this last go-around?
The last one we had 25.
25 students.
40 altogether.
40 all total. Thank you. Excited about these two students, two of our students, Sammy and Christian. We are working on their applications for Harvard and the University of Pennsylvania. And so I told them, writing letters of recommendation, especially to Harvard, is a monumental task in and of itself. It's good to know that their second schools happen to be the University of Michigan. So just a very lofty expectation, but really excited about that. And I'm really thankful to the staff for really pushing to make sure that their applications are done before we leave for the Christmas break. School spirit, here we are, a lot going on here. Homecoming, I got pied in the face. You got Mr. Course all dressed up, Miss Madden once again in the Hawk outfit, the football team, our soccer team, and so forth. Just a wonderful collaborative event, really excited about that. This photo, just so you know, these kids did not wear these dinosaur outfits all day. This was for the yearbook, and so I gave them 15 minutes of fame with the dinosaur costume, and so they were able to do that. And then of course, some of the young ladies put Mickey Mouse ears on my head, and so there I am with them. And then of course the sophomores in their hallway and so forth. And then of course students with Mr. Kim doing a fundraiser. Once again, a little bit more school spirit. I kind of blew these pictures up because the other ones needed to showcase a little bit larger, so that represents us a little bit better. Homecoming is still coming. Teachers in musical chairs. Miss Kim doing her thing with the cheerleaders dancing. Kids hosting. Our soccer team, just really excited about all the work they're doing. Classroom environment. This one is important because I'm really big on getting kids out of the city and into the habitat. And so what I really like is that Ms. Madden, you can look at this picture all the way to your right. You see the picture of Mr. Albrecht, Ms. Madden. This was an overnight trip, and I'm so appreciative to the board for making sure that all the I's were dotted and T's were crossed for the Scott Hollow environmental trip. Wonderful exposure for our students. It was an overnight trip. They camped out. They did archery. They were in the environment for just a number of areas. And so just really excited about that. And then of course the students reported out. You see their PowerPoint presentation there to the left. I do believe it was Detroit Outdoors. Come on up here, Ms. Matt. Yes.
Yeah, this was huge. The picture up to the center and the students presenting. Detroit Outdoors is our initial partner who's been helping us with all the outdoor adventure. And they've connected us to about, I want to say, 15 to 20 other organizations. And Detroit Outdoors won a national grant recently. So they were able to bring in all the partners to Hamtramck High School. So we had SOS outreach flying from Vail, Colorado. There was the YMCA of Michigan was there. I get emotional thinking about this because there were so many people. There was the, oh my goodness, neighborhood outreach from Southeast Community, who is in charge of the Ralph C. Wilson grant. They came. There was Mount Brighton people came out who help our kids with the skiing and the snowboarding. People drove down from Crystal Mountain to meet our students. We also had an administrator from Detroit Public Schools, because Detroit Public Schools has started an outdoor adventure program modeled after ours. Their union has negotiated stipends for the staff and a budget to fully fund it. And apparently we're the model. There were more people there, I'm not even saying them all, but it was just incredible. And they were here to hear our students. We had about 30 students come. The emotion in the room was just massive. And so, it was awesome. We have a lot of opportunities, and we've got the hookup. So
thank you, Ms. Mack.
No, thank you.
Awesome,
Thank you.
Just an excellent event. We're so excited about that, and for the future of it. There's so many other things that are going on that's coming up really quick. Ms. Belbisi, our DECA teacher, asked me to promote this. So this is our school store, and so for anyone who are Hamtramck residents, anyone in the community, if you want to get some Hamtramck swag, and I know you do, make sure that you reach out to us during school hours. We do have a order form. You can get all kinds of things, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts. Please reach out to us. Thank you so much. This is something that I started with the students, mainly to show kids who got perfect scores or close to perfect scores on SATs. The first Saturday of every month, we have what I call my Saturday Scholars. We come in for an hour and a half. And we have college speakers who come out and talk to the kids about all kinds of things. Wayne State University, you see the picture on the far right, was there. My daughter happens to be a college advisor at Wayne State. She spoke at that one. University of Michigan Dearborn will be here come February. And then basically it's the data that the students give us. Whatever college they say, we get the recruiter to assist our college process in going. Now, vision boards is what we did at the December meeting about 2 weeks ago. And so what you're looking at here are the students creating vision boards from about 85 donated magazines. And so the vision board is, of course, what's behind the SAT. So students put everything on there, from houses to travel to the types of cars they want to drive. Why your why? Why do you do what you do? And so for these vision boards, the kids kept them. I told them these should be posted on your wall at home and so forth. And these are the reasons why you work so hard and put in the work. So that's what this is all about. And so the goal is to just build that spirit of commitment to a college going process, not to be outdone by our entrepreneur club, which we are still working on. Cafeteria makeover. I want to thank you so much for our new tables. You can see students enjoying a great time. We got community colleges. You can see our partnership through dual enrollment with Wayne County Community College. We've got OCC in there. Of course, we have the Big Ten schools, the Ivy League schools, and of course our Cosmos, what we call the pub tables. So you can see the kids having a good time inside of our cafeteria. It looks good. And before you leave tonight, you should go up to the cafeteria and check it out. Just don't let these slides do the talking for you. Go up there and check it out. It's beautiful. It takes a whole nother facelift. It just takes our cafeteria to a whole other level. So we're excited about that. Of course, sports, our basketball team, we're 3-1 right now. Doing a really good job. During this first semester, the soccer team had a lot of success. The football team, we're working on a lot of skills. So we're coming right along. So we're excited about our sports team. And here we have our Rising Star PBAS Award. So one of our teachers, Ms. Rowe, has put together this program, and she actually personalized 82 invitations that she wrote all by hand. This, what you're looking at right now, is an example of one of those. And this initiative is all about recognizing student attendance for first hour with limited tardies. A lot of times we spend so much time with students who are not doing the things that they're not supposed to do. This is about catching the students who are doing things that they are doing, the can-do spirit. And so what we're doing is we're going to recognize all 82 students tomorrow. And as you notice that date, it's 12:45 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Nagy, for being there, because he'll be talking. You can see Mr. Nagy's face because he is going to be our keynote when it comes to the Superintendent Rising Awards. We are awarding 2 students for all of their effort. I can't tell you who those students are because it is a surprise to them. And we also will be recognizing 22 students for what we call our Cosmos Character Awards. And those are for students who the teachers deem have some of the best character for the first semester. So the goal is to let all the students know, hey, you can have this for the next quarter, okay? This is something that's an ongoing thing. Every quarter, we highlight all of the students who we caught doing something good. So we're really excited about that event tomorrow. Basketball schedule, everything from this point out will be mark your calendar. Please come out to our basketball games. This is public. We'll have this posted on the website. Come out and join us. We have really good times at our basketball games. We beat Plymouth Canton, I think last night actually. It was a really good game. So please do come out to our games. We've got our winter concert coming up on the 22nd, next Thursday at 6 p.m. Mr. Kors is doing an excellent job with KMS and of course our high school students. So please make sure you come out to that. Now I want to turn it over to Fosal Ahmed, who's going to talk about our cybersecurity.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is the application of protecting systems, networks, programs, devices, and data from cyber attacks. We never had this class before. This is the first time we get this class. There are several benefits of taking this cybersecurity class at Hamtramck High School. First, this course will help us develop skill in a fast-growing field where demand for specialists are increasing fast. Second, the class gives us a chance to explore cybersecurity deeper than other schools in the area. We have labs that gives us hands-on experience that will give us competitive advantage for high-paying jobs of the future. In this class, we learn what cybersecurity means to individuals personally and professionally. We learn how to be safe online by understanding common threats, attacks, and vulnerabilities. We also learn strategies to help business to protect their operation from cyber attacks. When we complete the course, we will have the ability to earn CompTIA Security Plus certification, a globally recognized industry standard. I also want to share some ideas to improve this class. To improve this class, maybe we can add more computer and networks parts, things we can take apart and put together. Maybe add some resources to help us take the Security Plus certification. There are some great books and softwares out there. I encourage students to take this class to protect themselves in the future and to consider this as a career opportunity. Many employers are looking for experienced people in cybersecurity, and this class will help students in many job fields. That's all from me.
Thank
You know, there's one other teacher who, come on up here, Ms. Patel. Ms. Patel is a first-year teacher, new to the profession. I just want to say, and I do apologize because her slide needs to be up here too, but today I had an opportunity to be with her in her classroom, and she did a presentation on writing creative myths. And just a wonderful job that she did. And for anyone who goes into the profession of education, I believe this is a calling. It's something that we get to do, and we do it with all of our tenacity. She has been going through the same thing that every first year teacher goes through. And I bring her up here just to celebrate her. And I know how challenging it can be, but you are very successful. And I just want to thank you because that was one of the best lessons I've ever seen. And she did just a wonderful job. Clap it up for Ms. Patel, please. Give a quick synopsis of what you were teaching today. Yes.
So we've been working on this, rough draft, final draft, 2 peer reviews, turn it into a presentation. I like to tell my kids my class is 25% speaking, 25% listening, 25% reading, 25% writing. This lesson incorporates all of that. So whenever they have presentations, they're not really presentations, they're storytelling. So they created their own origin myths so that they could really connect with the Native American stories that they read in their first unit. And I had them come back after Thanksgiving break, and they actually shared their stories with each other. And as everyone listened, they took notes, they shared their favorite lines from everyone's story, and they really connected with the archetypes that Native Americans used in their stories as well. So that was just a little bit of what I had going on today.
Excellent job. Thank you so much. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Please mark your calendar for our drama team. So the Magnificent Maharaja of Oz will be here on March 15th through the 18th. That's Ms. Walter's production. So this is a picture of all the students who are here, and they practice right here in the auditorium. And then finally, last but not least, this is mainly a shout out to all of our parents. Please come out to our next parent meeting. It's January 28th, 8:30 in the a.m. Or 6 o'clock p.m. by Zoom for those parents who cannot make the morning meeting. And if you have to do it by Zoom, just know that I owe you a cup of coffee if you cannot make it to the morning meeting. So thank you so much. On behalf of the Hamtramck High School and our entire community of learners, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to give this presentation, and stay blessed and have a great evening.
All right, next we have Mittens for Detroit.
English department.
Oh, thank you. High School English Department, never did that. Amy. Elon.
Not Elon, not C-Lot, Elon.
I like that. Jessica Madden and Rachel.
Nope.
Sorry. Rachel can't be here.
T-Bye is our
T-Bye.
wonderful colleague. She can't make it tonight because she has very little ones at home. So,
Oh,
but she's done a lot of this work with us, though.
She got Ms. Tabakovich instead. So.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dr. Martin, for presenting before us, because Dr. Martin has done an excellent job coming in this year and bringing the staff together and supporting a lot of our ideas. So we thank you for hiring him and bringing him to our school. So first of all. Okay, so we are up here to tell you and ask a request from you to tell you about our Hamtramck High School Writing Center. We understand that if you want to add a new course to the curriculum, it has to be board approved. So we created kind of a quick presentation about what our course description would look like. If you want the full background information, there are links there for our full Writing Center proposal. We got together this summer with Wayne Risa. We have a strong relationship with Wayne Risa in our English department. And we came together to decide that, most universities have writing centers on campus for students to come to bring their work, and they are staffed by other students who are consultants for their writing. I myself was a student at University of Detroit, and I worked in the Writing Center. And so we had this idea kicking around for a while to open one here, and then Wayne Risa said, hey, how about opening a writing center? We're like, that's what we want to do. So the links, I'm not going to click them here because, all right. If you want to see the full proposal, it's quite lengthy. It's there for you. We also made a one-page brief if you just prefer to read that. Amy is going to share with you the course description.
Hello. The Writing Center will be a unique class. We'll have peer consultants enrolled in the course will be expected to view it as a type of job, and their classmates will be their co-workers. Together they will build a caring, welcoming community, and the students who come in for writing consultations will rely on them to provide prompt, encouraging feedback that affirm their abilities and help them find and honor their own voices. What we do here also goes beyond just individual tutoring sessions. We have the opportunity to work together this year to close resource gaps, celebrate student voices, and work collaboratively with students and staff to further develop writing skills across disciplines.
So since it is a weekly class, they would have a daily routine, and 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, is the writer's workshop. The reading of mentor texts or exemplars, especially discipline specific, since teachers in other disciplines can request that the student consultants work with their classes as well. Data and student feedback reflection once a week on Thursdays, and feedback share-outs. They can discuss their thoughts with the Writing Center directors or the teachers, and peer consultants to consider and improve our work once a week, which should be Fridays. There will be 2 major forms of writing consultations available this year. The first will be face-to-face meeting in the Writing Center, and the second will be face-to-face consulting in classrooms by teacher invitation. So students could come into the library to work individually with their peer consultants, or if the teacher wants the student consultant, the peer consultant, to come into the classroom, you can do that as well. Face-to-face tutoring with individual students or small groups in the Writing Center. Students can drop in anything they're working on that would be student-directed by themselves, school-related or not, at any stage of the writing process, and get affirmation and support. And face-to-face tutoring with individual students or small groups in classrooms by teacher invitation. In the Writing Center, a peer consultant's primary role is tutoring students and working to hone their writing and tutoring skills, reading, reflection, and discussion. Each week there will be 1 or 2 assignments as well as ongoing writing in our writer's notebooks, which is the writer's workshop. And we're just going to follow the standard HHS grading percentages that are already in MyStar. As it is a class, we would just keep continuing on with what's already there.
So we have already set up some partnerships with Wayne Risa, Eastern Michigan University of Campus and Community Writing, which is the CTW Ypsilanti Writes, which I am proud to say that I am now a member of that through Eastern Michigan University. I was just hired last week to work on weekends and summers, another time that will probably upset my husband, but too bad. And I also think we just got a hold of University of Michigan School of Education.
Yeah, along with the partnerships, we'll be working closely with Eastern Michigan University, and we're going to bring our students to visit their campus and their writing center, and they'll be trained by their writing consultants. And then additionally, I think we're going to visit UMM's, or they'll come and visit ours. So what we're requesting is that this class be a regular English course credit versus an elective, because it will encourage students to apply for the course. We did, as this is our first year, we put out an invitation for teachers to recommend students who they thought were good writers. We had, I don't know, probably over 50 recommendations, and these are mainly 10th and 11th graders, because we want to train these students for next year. Our seniors will be leaving us, so. And we conducted interviews last week, and so we have at maybe 12 to 15 qualified candidates who are excited. The students are all about it. They're very excited about it. Their only question that they were asking us is, will this be a credit? So since we're following the reading and writing workshop model that we do in our regular English classes, we'd like that this would be a regular English credit for them. So it's not an elective that they can't fit into their schedule.
We would like to start this second semester. We do realize with the high school, the schedule's already put out. We do have an opportunity with the 6th hour to start it, and then after school, we interviewed all of the students last Friday, and it was very interesting. But anyways, we would like to start at second semester with the 6th hour being the class, and then the kids that would work after school. As teachers, we've all decided what days we could do, and working with the students to get them trained so that we could get them all trained before the end of the year and get it kind of mini started, and then come fall, we could just roll it out.
One more thing I feel like we have to say. So we spent a really long time this summer working on the vision and the mission. And it was important to us that the Writing Center consultants not just be your National Honor Society kids or kids who are into everything. And so we wanted it to be equitable, we wanted it to be accessible, we wanted it to be inclusive. In order to do that, we have to be in the school day because we want to include, we have 2 candidates who are on the basketball team. One gentleman in particular who interviewed extremely well. For him to be able to participate and to bring his teammates in to work on writing, it needs to be in the school day. Additionally, we have several students who have after-school obligations, and we know that we can't be widely accessible to students if we're only after school. So for everybody to meet the needs of the school, that's kind of the mission of this, to make it an easy place to draw them in.
And I just want to make a major point here too. It's not just the peer tutors that would be in the library. It would also be these students being able to push into classrooms. Like, so the teacher can sign up and say, hey, can I have 2 consultants come in my classroom on 3rd hour, and I'm doing this new thing, and I'm going to need some extra hands to show kids to go through the graphic organizer or the writing process or however it is. So for us to be available during the day to push kids in and out, whether it be in the library and or classrooms.
Do you have any questions for us? Yeah. Well, initially, yes, but
We would love to see it go as far down as you want it to. We can take it.
It would be amazing to have our high school students then push in down into the middle school and train middle school consultants. I mean, that would be awesome. And even to push it in. So yeah, we could take this. If we have the time for it, we could really move this.
Thank you.
And now we have a presentation for Mittens for Detroit, created by Chris Walensky, who's been providing our schools with students, Mittens for our students. And he did a great presentation to summarize. So we're going to watch most of it, the key points, and enjoy. So, we have 6 weeks.
Good evening, everyone. This is Mr. Walensky. Today, I'd like to say hello to everyone in the audience, all my teacher friends, and to the school board members, as well as the superintendent of schools. We are currently celebrating the 10th anniversary of providing mittens and gloves to every student of the Hamtramck Public Schools. I'd like to thank Wendy Shepard, who is the director of a nonprofit organization known as Mittens for Detroit, and all her efforts. The way it started was I reached out to Wendy after seeing one of her donation boxes and asked if she could provide gloves and mittens for the students in my classroom who I would notice on the playground or recess or before and after school, didn't have any gloves or mittens for the majority of them. And she said that would be no problem, and suggested though that we go a little bit higher and provide gloves and mittens for every student at Dickinson East at the time, which was over 800 students. So we, with a little bit of work and a lot of help from a lot of people, that's how this program started. So 30,000 plus gloves later and mittens, and even during COVID over the last 10 years, the last 3 years, which were prior to this year, was virtual. With the help of the food services family and the lunch ladies, we were able to provide gloves when parents would pick up the free breakfast and lunches that were being provided during that time. There were gloves there to be had, and so it's just been a real pleasure to work with Wendy and all the people that volunteer for the program. Most of this presentation is just going to be pictures of kids, which is the fun part of doing this. Pictured in the middle there, that's Wendy at her office, downtown Detroit. And during a recent sort, I was there helping sort gloves and mittens into boxes to be heading out. Currently, early childhood, Holbrook and Talbeda have received their gloves and mittens, and shortly after another big sort, we'll have the gloves for Dickinson East, Dickinson West, the high school, the Schuschko, and the other programs that need them for families that belong to the HPS community. It literally takes an educational community to pull this off each year. From maintenance people picking the gloves up, to custodians setting up tables, making a space for us, to, again, as I mentioned, food services, passing gloves out during COVID, administrators supporting the students, the staff, parapros, and teachers, everyone making sure that the students get just the right pair of gloves, and even having student volunteers from the upper grades helping the K-1 students find their special mittens. This is the most recent sort where we, by the time it's all said and done, there will be over 70 boxes of gloves and mittens delivered to all the schools. You can see, you can imagine what's behind this picture, just tens of thousands of gloves for different programs and communities in the Metro Detroit area. There are literally armies of corporate and private volunteers and sponsors who sort the gloves as well. This is an older picture when we first started, and these are employees of Daimler Chrysler who did all of our box sorts for the entire district and then deliver them to Dickinson East, helping kids try on gloves. Just an amazing event, a real feel-good story, and that story continues.
Did it go into the photos? So we want to thank Chris Walensky. He's a special education. He's been at Dickinson East for many, many years, and now our special education teacher at Talbeda and Holbrook. We want to really thank him and his team, Mittens for Detroit. So you did the math. If you did the math, so 3,000 mittens a year over a 10-year span. So give him a round of applause.
Moving on. Resolution number 3, approval of invoices and check registers. Do I have a motion? Motion. Mr. Obey. Second by Ms. Hall. Results of the check registered for the period of November 10th, 2022 through December 14th, 2022 as enclosed be approved. Any discussions? All in favor? Any opposed? None opposed, motion passes. Resolution number 4, approval of high school Writing Center course. Do I have a motion? Motion by Ms. Hall. And I heard Ms. Watson. All right, seconded by Mr. Chowdhury. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the high school writing center course as submitted. Any discussions?
Sounds great.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, resolution number 5, approval of employment. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Major. Seconded by Mr. Obey. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the continued employment of Thomas Nichai as a special project consultant at $75 per hour, not to exceed $62,000 per calendar year, effective January 1st, 2023, ending in December 31st, 2023. Discussion? Do we have any discussion? All right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ms. Hall opposes? And I oppose. Motion passes. Resolution number 3, approval of employment. Do I have a motion? Mr. Chowdhury. Seconded by Ms. Watson. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the employment of Darlene Moore as Business Office Coordinator, annual salary of $85,000 prorated, effective January 9th, 2023. Discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No oppositions. Motion passes. Welcome. Thank you very much. Resolution number 3, approval of employment. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Who is that? Mr. Major? Seconded by Mr. Obey. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the employment of Gary Stevens as Director of Pupil Services, annual salary of $90,068.52, prorated, effective December 13th, 2022. Do we have any discussions?
Before we schedule your interview.
So I do have a discussion on this. I believe that the process for hiring, especially directors in our district, has not been, really explained to us, and how, especially with the situation that we're in right now, how the committee is being selected, how anything is being done. With that being said, I believe the process was too rushed. This is not only a position of extreme importance. I believe that this process was rushed and then allows time to have a variety of candidates to make the appropriate decision to be a rush. We should not continue down the path of rushing to fill administrative roles without giving an adequate amount of time to get a pool of candidates. I believe that the board still has not been informed on how the selection of committees for interviews is being done and there are many questions that I have requested and have been met with resistance when all I ask is for information to be provided to the board on new processes, how they are made, and this is a very, very important position for the district. I believe that we should allow more time for applicants to, put in their applications. I believe that, we cannot continue to go down a path of rushing to hire people into administrative roles without giving the due diligence to people to apply within a reasonable amount of time. I don't think, it's a position that affects not only our students to an extent, it affects our staff, it affects our community. You know, we want to make sure we're choosing the best candidates for these positions, including the administrative positions. And with that being said, I just would like you guys to have that information. And sure.
Were you done? Were you done? Sorry.
You can go ahead.
So, just want us to, be, I second that we want and have communicated and hope for much more clarity around how the hiring process happens at all levels, but in particular, director level positions. And I know that the committee has finally been formed and is meeting, and look forward to those recommendations. So those obviously can't have a full impact on this, but just want to point out two things that we got a description of what the process was as a board that followed as close as possible that I know of to a HR best practice of forming an interdisciplinary committee, holding interviews, referring final candidates to the superintendent who conducted this next round of interviews, and then from those recommended by the committee to the superintendent, this selection was made. And just want to remind us that, also to learn from the past, and, we have had some challenges with particular, director level decisions that have been made. And we need absolutely, like you said, like a clear, transparent, participatory process to do those. It seems like that was followed here, and also need to remind us that we once the process has been followed and it gets to this point, this is something that we need to not wade deeply into as a board. We don't make the decision. We're here to approve of the process that comes before us, and that process was followed, credentials are met, and those people's qualifications were shared with us, and everything in that information obliges us to support this decision, even though we want more and better process in the future, and hope to get that from the staffing committee that's working on that right now.
Okay, I mean, we've been asking for that throughout the years, to my memory. I, was a part of this interview process, and I just feel like it was rushed, and we should really find it in our best interest of our students to make sure that we can get a good pool of candidates and interview possibly more than just 3 people for positions in this level, and that's just my thoughts. So, all right. Any other comments?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. We're really meeting right now in that role. Nothing was rushed. I don't understand what the rush or definition of what was rushed. We went through the full process just like any other position. But when it comes to this position, now we're having issues. Everything is transparent. As you mentioned, you're part of the interview committees. You participated in that. So,
Mr. Ned, can I ask also, just to clarify there, you said that, this is, in my understanding, is that this is a role we've had a gap in for a while, and a lot of other staff have been carrying a lot of weight for
this is
a long
the role
time.
that we've had a gap in 3 weeks from the previous pupil director that just resigned. It was about 3 weeks total process of the application for candidates being put up, the selection of candidates being made and the interviews of those candidates happen within 3 weeks.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, I said what I needed to say, so let's do a roll call. Mr. Major.
Aye.
Mr. Obey.
Aye.
Mr. Chaudry. Ms. Watson. Ms. Hall. And I oppose. Motion passes. Resolution number 8.
Before we continue,
Go ahead, Mr.
Stevens,
Stevens.
can you please get up?
I oppose.
Resolution number 8, January organizational meeting. Do I have a motion?
Change it to
Yes, or? Yeah, I'll get to that. Do I have a motion? Motion by Ms. Hall,
second.
seconded by Mr. Obey. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby set the organizational meeting for the month of January for Wednesday, for January 4th, 2023 at 6 p.m. The regular meeting will follow immediately on January 4th. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, motion passes. Resolution number 9, approval of field trip. Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Obey, seconded by Ms. Hall. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the request of William Kim to take 40 students to the University of Toledo Health Science Campus on February 16, 2023. All in favor? Aye. Any discussion?
Yeah, they also visited Harper Woods Gaming Center. Is that what it's called, Mr. Kiner? I think it's their facility because they did esports, and hopefully we'll get there. But the Toledo is, I think, a next step as well. So they're visiting and competing, correct? It's for the esports, right? Is it all correct? Oh, the campus is called that. Okay. Thank you.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, motion passes. All right, audience participations. First up, we have Ms. Kuro. And the topic of discussion is stuff.
I ran out of words to actually use there.
All right, let me know when you're ready. You have 3 minutes.
I'm ready. Tony Carl, President of Hamtramck Federation of Teachers. And I just wanted to point out just a couple of quick things. I'm looking forward in the new year to establishing the PD committee that is obligated in our contract, and I'm hoping that we can get it going by the end of January. I'm actively reaching out to members to find out who is interested, so if members are listening, please, we need you. And the second thing I want to point out is something positive that the Hamtramck Federation of Teachers has started in the spring, and I believe you did share it on your Facebook group, and so I appreciate it if we could share it every week, and I'll share an image for all of you. We are every Monday at 4 o'clock at the Hamtramck Public Library. We are reading to kids, and I know some of you have children who you could bring to the library, and we will gladly read to you. There's somebody every Monday except for when we are on vacation, and we really would like everyone to bring their kids, and we will read to them. And we've started that in the spring, and we're very excited about it. And that's all. That's all.
Time again.
4 o'clock every Monday.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, next up, we have Hattie regarding special needs students. Please let me know when you're ready.
Hi, I'm ready. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I have a son who with special needs, and we have been in struggle with the public school office about their services. So we request that we get some specialized people to work with us. Usually they send us to Detroit or Grossmont, which is we had some bad experience with Detroit. First of all, I request from the special education manager and from the superintendent to get a meeting for everyone has a child. And we have been running this for 4 months, no result. We want to start together. We have 320 parents or students in Hamtramck. They have a special needs. We want to go there, we want to sit together and speak together. Where is that appointment? It's something in the dream. We want to discuss our needs. We want to stop sending our kids to different cities. 320 kids, I think, is good enough to start the service in the same city. We want to open a center for us. At least we need to hire cognitive impairment teachers. We need ABA therapists. We need services for our kids. But the public school office doesn't know what to do. Doesn't have a plan. They said we have a plan, we have a plan. I have been with them now 2 years and there is no plan. Last year I sent my son to Chavez Academy. They say welcome. They hire someone for him as a rapport to sit with him. And then this year they said Wayne County doesn't offer budget. So where can I go? I came back to the Hamtramck Public School. They say the same thing. We cannot accept him. Then one of the teachers helped me going to the Lansing. They spoke with someone. And then Hamtramck Public School, hurry up. Okay, where is your son? Get it back. We're gonna find someone to sit with him. Why? Because just a complaint? Just feel if you have a son like me, where can you put him? My son now is sitting just only in resource room as an emergency case. He needs something, please help us do something. Find a spot, we need a plan from the Hamtramck Public School to do what we can do as a short term this year. What about next year? What about the third year to find enough or respect building for them? We find nothing. This is our concern. I want to show it to everyone here, especially the board member. Discuss with us, tell us what we can do. We are frustrated from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have Mr. Brahim regarding SPED.
I am Abraham Razid. I have a daughter that's in ECE, and this is my third meeting coming here. You guys had a presentation in the first meeting. We're reviewing some. You guys gave us somewhat of a plan. Just wanted to know what actionable steps have happened since then. Is it alright if you guys answer me, or?
We don't have that information right now, but
So this is the thing I don't understand. It takes one meeting with a guy yelling at you guys, embarrassing you guys, and you guys remove books. But kids with special education, like this gentleman's son, is put in a resource room. My daughter goes to school. She doesn't learn anything. She just goes to play. Why have you guys failed the kids? Why do you guys keep misrepresenting? Why do you guys keep, telling us you guys are going to do this and do this, and nothing ever happens? I've already made a complaint on the federal level. I don't know if you guys need that other gentleman to come back in here that yelled at you guys the last time and embarrassed you guys the last time. and you guys remove the book right away and have some sort of committee now. But these kids that actually need services, they need help, okay? And you guys are just there just watch. I'm not just talking to them three, I'm talking to everybody on the board. If you guys are not competent to do your job, get somebody else that can. Because you know what? It's not our problem. That's what everybody says, it's not our problem. It is you guys' problem, not my problem, because it's your job. If you guys can't find anybody to work, there's contractors out there. It's been 3 months. Why haven't you hired anybody? Why don't you guys have answers? What do you guys need to talk about? Just hand out awards and high five each other? That's all? Pretty much. You're not into it. I sent you an email to me about my daughter. I've been sending emails since September to get her IEP. Nothing. Her IEP is what she was doing. And her IEP says she doesn't walk. I'm disgusted at this point by everybody on the board. Because these are kids. They can't speak for themselves. My daughter doesn't communicate. You guys want to be on a bus and shut up to a different district. I've met with you a few times since you mentioned. All lies, pretty much at this point. Thank you.
Alright, that's all for audience participation. Next up we have additional board discussion. Do we have it? And I think we're asking our interim superintendent to look at this complaint and reach out to them and figure out something, please. We don't want more embarrassing than the board. These parents have kids, they have concern. We want to have the director and you to reach out to them, sit with them, show them the plan.
Why is this on
So,
resource
thank you.
and not
So
in the classroom?
that's all I'm asking you. I actually, they've been here many times to, I actually asked for an update from the SPED department for this meeting and was basically told it's not going to be able to happen. So I wanted answers to be here for this meeting. It didn't happen. I requested for the SPED department to be present at this meeting and was met with resistance. So that's my response.
Then hire somebody that can do the job. Contract it
And
out.
I think,
Do something.
can you let us communicate? This would be helpful for us all to be as aware as possible of the intricacies of special ed, because it's complicated, but it's important for us all to have a much better handle on it. And the other piece is, we haven't talked about this in a while, but in this, so many things link back to our physical space here. We are maxed out of space in every building, in every corner of every building. And we have, and that's where it is ultimately up to us to figure out how to communicate our needs to our community, because these programs that we are not able to host here and are critical are one of many that we are not able to host here. One of many critical initiatives to support our students, families, and community, because we don't have the physical space. And so I would encourage the board that continues support as I'm able, those listening that live here and vote here, that you need to advocate for and push for a bond initiative to raise the money to fund and build the physical space to house all of these programs, or else it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah, and we did purchase a couple of buildings in you know, up till now, we still don't know what the plans are for these buildings. We have the space, I would like to say, to possibly build a space for our special ed department. But we haven't gotten any kind of further information on what's going on, what's up with the buildings that we have acquired. It's been a year and a half or 2 years now, and they're just sitting there. So maybe we can get more updates regarding that, and hopefully we can find some resolutions sooner rather than later.
Good things for future agendas.
All right. Anything else from the board member?
I just want to say something on the board.
Yeah, Victor, I have to do that. Hey, Victor, can you stand up? So this is our other new board member. Welcome, just so you're aware. And then we also have Abdul Malik here. And he's also for both of you, just know that January 4th is your start date. So put it in your calendar. You know, we're excited to see you guys out. I'd like to, you know, take the opportunity to, you know, let you know if you guys would like to meet and have lunch and just talk about what the board consists of. I'm available tomorrow and I'm available next week. Just have my numbers, both of you do. Feel free to reach out, okay? Welcome again. All right. Resolution number 10, meeting adjournment. Do I have a motion? Motion by Obey, seconded by Mr. Schauber. Resolved that the regular board meeting be adjourned at 8:29 p.m. All in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion passes. Thank you all for joining. You guys